to the panel portion of our session today. The next session is going to drill down into changes aircraft lenders are seeing with their portfolio and how those changes are being managed. So with that said, I'd like to invite our moderator, Rolly Vincent, to come online with the panelists that will be participating. Rolly Vincent is the president of Roland Vincent Associates. He's also the creator and director of JetNet IQ. He has a unique picture of our market from 30,000 feet. He spends time with data and analysis of our market and forecasting for our market. And so with what we've just heard from Gus, Rolly, it would be great to hear what you're seeing on the drill down to the private aviation world.
Thank you, Jim, and thanks, Gus, for those words of wisdom and lots of things to take away, and I've certainly taken a full page of notes. Really appreciate the opportunity to be with you. We have a great panel today. We'll just start with a couple of slides. I just want to share with you some data, just what we're seeing in the markets, and then we'll switch into the panel. We've got 4 experts in the industry, and we're going to have a little sequence of questions and answers. But let me just share with you just some of the state of the market views that we're seeing right now. I'm going to share my screen. Just bear with me a second as I get this up. And hopefully there you can see the screen. Can you, Jim? You see that?
Yes, I can see it. Yep.
Okay,
looks good, Rolly.
Just share with you really a couple of things. These are from our JetNet IQ research reports. And just right into the data here. We've had, actually, it's an interesting year, fascinating year, of course. Thanks again, Gus, for those perspectives. What we're seeing here in the business aviation sector is really, we had a pretty good start to the year, actually. Our sentiment indicators from our JetNet IQ surveys were up about 9 points in Q1. So we started out really well, but look at some of these data points here on this screen. Deliveries obviously are going to be down this year. They've already indicated from some of the early data from Gamma. These are now from JetNet right through mid-July. We're looking at down 35, 40% in terms of shipments from the factories. Part of that obviously due to furloughs and supply chain disruptions, as Gus mentioned. Look at retail transactions. That's a little bit more of the pulse of the market. There's very little delay between purchase interest and a purchase decision. These things can happen quickly as opposed to the deliveries where there's often a backlog. There we're seeing, and we can see that data pretty quickly here, in the early parts of January, February, we're actually up year over year on the jet side in transactions. It then really slowed after the pandemic was announced in March, and we're seeing we're down 35 points from that point through end of June. So overall, down about 25 to 30 points in the markets. That's in terms of transactions. These are retail sales and leases that are going to an end user. Okay, a little bit more granularity here, some layers of the onion, if you like. Let's peel it back just slightly more. These data are from JetNet through the end of June. And here we're seeing inventory for sale. It's the number of aircraft that are out there on the market that are listed on these sites. And Jets have about 2,300 aircraft currently listed. The really interesting thing is if you go back, let's say 12 years to the last crisis that we faced, the global financial crisis, that we saw a tremendous spike in inventory. We're not seeing that at all here. People are hanging onto their airplanes. They're taking the good counsel of their advisors and just keeping the airplanes probably a little bit more idle than we've seen in the past, of course, but they're keeping ownership of those aircraft. They may be talking to their financiers, though, about rephasing some of their payments. Turboprops, again, no real bump in inventory. And then down below here, we're just going to look at some of the details, some of the more popular models that you'll see out there, the number of aircraft that are in the fleet and the percent for sale. But then if you look at the bottom line on this chart here, the very last line, these are the aircraft that are delivered in the last 5.5 years. And very, very limited inventory available. So again, if you're out looking for, if you're a shark looking for blood in the water, really not seeing a lot in this industry. There's a limit to what's out there.